So hello everyone. Today we're doing very sweet penguin painting. Here we see one penguin baby, but we're gonna do two little penguins. Yeah, since I have beautiful sisters painting with me, then of course it's nicer. Yeah, let's, as usually we start, we take pencil, eraser, and we start with sketch. So you can see they're pretty big. Yeah, so also like we can do maybe one a bit bigger, maybe he's like father. Yeah, it also looks a bit more interesting composition, not the same level. Yeah, so we can just slowly start. I would suggest we're starting with the backs. So for both this, and like this will limit our yeah, so let's say here I start with one curvy line for one back. Yeah, so instead doing like one penguin and then too small, and then maybe I have no place. Yeah, so this is like I'm planning. So I say, okay, from here till there are my penguins. And then it means I need to fit the small penguins here in between. So when I have these back lines, then I can go and of course do the head. So then I go on top, and this is a bit more curved down. Yeah, and this one is more curved also, but a bit more diagonal. Yeah, and again, I can do like parallel. I don't need to finish one and then. Yeah, so this one maybe I do a bit higher. And yeah, and we can see the heads are pretty high. So also keep in mind, yeah, don't do it like too small. We need to have a bit space in between heads and little penguins. Yeah, so basically now I'm concentrating more on this black part. And then I can go for also like marking belly. Nice. And then we will need to change a bit and do the two baby penguins. So here's the plan. We're going to be my bottom. So we're going to be the legs. So from there, I can also start a little one. So what we also can do, so this is one like penguin is looking to the side. The other one, maybe we can do like looking straight at us. Yeah. So somewhere here, if I'm too quick, tell me, I'm gonna slow down. Yeah. And with baby penguin also like, so let's say where the legs of big ones are ending, there I'm starting the body. I don't even like mostly don't see the legs of little penguin. He's like sitting with his fur covering. Yeah. And then I limit myself again. So where my head gonna be? Yeah, so I don't make it too big. So then we can have also this feeling that the baby penguin is really small. And their parents taking care of him. Mm. Mhm. And the other penguin, I'm gonna put here, like looking more straight. So I'm gonna do like also the head. Mhm. And I'm gonna do the body that is a bit bigger. Then he has the wings. Yeah, so the little penguin that is looking at us straight, I do the body, and on top I did these wings, and then I just erased one part of the body line, and then yeah, and then we see the well, something like this. I show you a bit closer. Yeah, so something like this I got for the little ones, and here maybe also need to look longer. Yeah, and then this part will be black, and the rest will be like more grayish. The fur here again, also like the fur all grayish, and the head is kind of here maybe a bit too long. The peak of baby penguin, smaller. Yeah, if you want me to repeat the baby penguins, let me know, then I can erase and do them again if you have troubles, in case I did it too quick. And then and basically then the belly of penguins is white. Here we have a bit of like yellowish, and then we have, of course, the wing part. And here as well. So yeah, when I do the wing of the adult penguins, then just see like a bit like how many belly is left. Then you can move the wing how it's maybe more convenient to you. So yeah, and you can also choose, maybe you make penguins a bit more, or you make them taller, thinner, or you make them a bit more, yeah, they just had some food and they look more round. Nice. Well, everyone's silent, so I suppose just everyone concentrately painting, but no questions, so I assume it's not so hard, this sketch. Yeah. 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 Yay, sweet penguins. Yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know and I'm gonna try maybe, I don't know, show better the. Yeah, take time to finish your penguin sketch. Yeah, give me a thumbs up when you're ready.
Is this a
Let me see. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, maybe this second penguin can be like, so you have baby penguin and one behind. Maybe make it also not too small, just a bit bigger. So then it's more the same size, the two small penguins. Wow, I see the Alice cage. Yay, beautiful. Very nice. I love how the composition and how you take it all, yeah, the whole page. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Ellie also showing me. Uh-huh. Yeah. Nice, girls. You're professionals. Hmm? Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So let's wait till everyone is finished. Yeah. Yeah. Also give me a thumbs up here, Yo-Yo, when if you're good. Yeah, yeah, I see. I see you continue. Ah, your sister as well already. Okay. The next step would be, so for the background here, we have pretty much not so complicated. We have blue, like it's snow or ice there, and here a bit darker blue for like shadow. But there is one interesting. So we have this line of the sky, and you as an artist, you can choose, yeah, where you want it. But you have to think about where this line should be. And it's good because it's always interesting to put it somewhere because it's line, so it's crossing. And with this line, we make the viewer look where we want to look. If I put here, the viewer will be like having attention on the bellies. And maybe it's not something. Maybe if I put to the heads, then the viewer will be looking more to this, yeah? So you artist and you take a decision where you want this line, yeah? If you put it here, maybe, yeah, then it's kind of, so it's always good that anything, any like diagonal, horizontal lines that are crossing your drawing, they're crossing somewhere in important parts, yeah, let's say. So here I'm gonna do a little bit like in this drawing. So I'm gonna do that my line is crossing where the heads of penguins are. And here it's also nice, it goes a bit like up. I don't know, It can be also just straight line. But let's draw a straight line and see if it looks too boring as just being just horizontal. No, like horizontal, of course, generally it's just straight. But sometimes when we're taking pictures and we take around like, yeah, maybe the horizontal line can be straight, but the sky that we draw, it can be a bit more yeah, with diagonals, because it's like it's good also to break yeah. So basically actually that's it. So yeah, so why I talked a lot about this line, because these things are important. You as an artist, you need to know that how all those tricks working. And before we go to the paints, again, I suggest as usually just to kind of lighten up a bit the drawing, especially let's say like the lines where the black is not that important, because yeah, we're gonna put black color there and it covers everything. But let's say where you have the belly or where you have the baby penguins, because they're more like grayish, yeah, then I like to eliminate my pencil, and then it looks everything more like cleaner, lighter. Yeah? Maybe also the same, this like this line, this horizontal line you did, like can also make it lighter, because then it feels nicer. Yeah, this connection, it feels like more smoother. It's more the back, and it's not that intensive. Very, very nice. And I would suggest we start coloring exactly with background, with both sky and all these blue snow, and then we go for penguins, yeah, because then like the black part of penguins, I suggest we do almost in the end, the last one. Yeah.
I still need to do my line.
Ah, sure. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, think about where your line is. Yeah, so mine is here, and also an experiment. Yeah, maybe put it first straight, then you say, maybe it's actually more interesting. It's going a bit up. Yeah, sometimes it's also what it's good to do. So to avoid having their pencil, sometimes I can just draw here on the like if I have a tape, yeah, or if it's my paper and cardboard, actually like draw my line on it. So then it helps me to remember, the line is here. Yeah, but then I remove it because here I want to have very pale blue and some light yellow, so I don't want to see the dark line there. And
Done.
Very nice, very nice. And then actually usually we start from light to dark. So I suggest we start with the yellow color for the sky. We move to a little bit this pinkish, and then we move to light blue, and then we color the light blue background, but still without the dark blue. Yeah, because then first I'd like to do the grayish of penguins, and then we add the darker shadows. Yeah. And then we take our brushes. Yeah, and remember when you want to do the pale colors, and of course you need more white and less. Yeah, so let's say I will take like bigger pile of white, and then I will need just tiny bit of yellow. Here, move it. Yeah. So I've put bigger white, tiny yellow, and I put tiny red, because to make pink, like really, I need so little of color. Yeah. And especially here, it's not much, it's just one stripe of pinkish. Yeah, and then I can have my blue, and blue the same. So either you already have maybe sometimes a tube and it's already mixed for sky blue. And if not, again, it's more white rather than blue. Yeah, that's what we know, that the white color is always the one that ends first. Yeah, and remember, mixing colors, it's always like, it's better to go slow. So let's say I take more white, and then I take on tiny, just on the ending of my brush, like I barely touch the yellow, and I go into my white. And then if it's not enough, better I go back and forth 2-3 times, and then I get like the color I want, rather than I go quickly and I take lots of yellow, and then it's then I need adding more white, and yeah. So now the task is to mix very pale yellow. Like later on penguins, we're gonna have like a bit more brighter yellow, but here I do. Yeah, and actually, like I already actually did. Well, it's not a mistake because we know we can cover yellow with everything, but my yellow stripe is already pretty much big. Yeah, so I wanted just like the accent there, so that it's like, yeah. And you see, and we don't need also much, so I mixed very bit. Oh yeah, but now remember, so we said, so it can go a bit diagonally up. So here at left side, I can have less yellow, and on the right side, I can have more. So it feels like a bit diagonally going. And yeah, and it's also like if you put the color and you feel like your border line is too thick, then you can just clean your brush and just like blur out, blend out your border line of yeah, so then it's just not so active, and then it will be easier to blend in the pinkish. Yeah, so here what I did, just like the, yeah, and I let it also dry if it's a bit too much water, and always and pinkish actually. So here, like where I have mixed my pale yellow, I actually can go and even inside there, I can mix my tiny bit of red. So if I mix white and red, then of course I get pink. But here I have these yellow leftovers, and we remember that when we mix yellow and pink, then we get peachy color, and it's also beautiful, yeah, and we can use it. Yeah, and here, for example, if like what happened to me, that I put a bit too much yellow at first, then I don't have space for my blue enough. Yeah, then my blue will be too short. Now I go with this pinky peachy, even on top of my yellow that I've already painted here. But then my task again is to like kind of blur it. So there is not like one straight line where pink is ending and yellow is starting. Yeah, and then it's like blending out. Yeah, you can just either you clean the brush, and just with clean brush and water, you just kind of spread it out. Yeah. Yeah, and well, I'm doing it all very pale. You know, it's like just sometimes you want painting to be more active, more colorful. Sometimes you want it to be more calm. So yeah, but still doing lighter colors, it's always more difficult, yeah? Like taking colors straight from tube. But if you want to make it pale, then you already need like, you feel, okay, more this, less this, like much more blue, sorry, white, and tiny bit of color. I'll go slowly mixing the sky blue for the rest, because it's also like, because here we need to also blend together blue and red, so I can't wait too long till my pink like is already too dry. Yeah, it's always easier to blend them together when they are still a bit wet. And then again, the same story. So I take more white, and I take tiny bit of blue, and I mix it, and then you already see, so already I have the color that I need with a little bit, yeah. And here, of course, it depends. So depends which blue you have and which pink you have. Then it means like which, in connection, we know that red and blue, they give purple, but it always depends, like which red and which blue you take. If it's light, you'll get like more lighter mix. Yeah, if you have dark blue, then you get the darker purple, and you can always add a bit of white if it's too dark, to make it lighter, or just experiment with different. But since here I'm using like very pale colors, I was adding very little, so of course it's not that, it doesn't matter that much. So and I'm doing very pale because I want it to be in the background. It's there far away. And for the rest of the backgrounds where the penguins are standing, I also suggest, like, for example, there, where is the connection with the sky? We can also do like something very pale, something like very neutral. But then going more to the bottom, then you can have also a bit more intense the color. So basically now I'm taking the same blue I have mixed for up. And only maybe actually like, like usually you always have at least 2 different blues in the set. So I can also have like, I'll take another blue just to change, not to have the same. So now, for example, I can mix my lighter blue with darker blue. So then they're just looking a bit different. And also remember that reaching this lightness, like for the sky, like I have, you can also always have it with water. So you can use either white paint, but if you're still, it's like your first strokes you do on the paper, and the paper is white, so then you can and then you use the whiteness of paper, that also, like, because then I just put my paint, I'm just putting less paint because I put more water, so then I can see through the paper, and like this also it looks lighter. And here I'm not worrying to getting on top the penguins with my blue, because they're gonna be black. So you see, like, feel free also like to, but of course careful just for the black parts of penguins. Like from the middle where the bellies are, they're like a bit more careful. Yeah, because we want the bellies to stay. But for example, where the noses are, here I'm coloring in the middle. Yeah, I can also just go all around because yeah, and also no worries to do like this bottom part of the background. Don't worry to have it like ready now. Yeah, we come back to it like we do the penguins and then we come back there to do the shadows, so it doesn't have to be perfect now. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm also, for example, if the sky, I actually tried to make it like very smooth. But here where, let's say the ground, the ice is, it's actually okay if I have like some brush strokes, some brush marks. Yeah, it shows also like, because that's like ice ground, it doesn't have to be too perfect. Yeah, so take time to finish all your backgrounds. I'm just gonna tell you, so in case someone is ahead. So the next, we definitely clean well the brush after blue, because then we go again to yellow. So we do these yellow parts of the penguins. Yeah, so on the head is brighter, and then it's also a little bit on the belly, but they're very careful not to make the belly too yellow. Yeah, so just kind of we work with the belly the way we usually work on round objects, because we want to show it's round. Yeah, the belly, of course, the body of penguin. And then we need to show a little bit like the shadow, so we do a little bit of this yellow, and it feels like curvy. Yeah? So then this will be, and after this we're gonna go to do the grayish part of baby penguins. Yeah, it means we kind of take black, but then just with white, or again just with water, you can do the grayishness. And, yeah, but I'm waiting for you. You let me know when you're ready with the background, and then we do together. Yeah, and here, of course, you'll be already like try to change for smaller brush. Yeah, we did the background a bit bigger, and then the rest. Yeah, and also another suggestion, like don't like don't try to fight. Yeah, if there is something like not working with background as smoothly. The easiest way is actually to let it dry. And once it's dry, it's much easier to correct. Yeah, once it's wet, the paint keeps on like moving with water around, and it's like, yeah, much easier just to kind of let it dry, do something else, and then come back, and it's you improve the let me know if I can continue with penguins, or you need a few minutes.
I need more time.
All right, good. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, then no worries, no rush. Yeah, so just kind of do the background. Definitely don't do this dark blue yet. Yeah, it's better to do it later in the end. And yeah, feel free, let me know when, so then I know if you're finished.
I'm finished, but I don't know about Yo-Yo.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. We wait till everyone is finished. Yeah, so for those who finished, so I'll just also like you can think about finished, good. Like I'll be changing to smaller brush. So like either if you continue with the same brush, so either you clean it well because you've been using blue, and then you make it also dry, like you can make it dry with paper towel, because then like we'll be doing these yellowishy parts, then you don't need so much water. Yeah, then actually like then you can like just hardly have your brush. Yeah. And, yeah. So then, yeah, and in general, like how we choose the brush, always choose like depending what you're planning to paint. Yeah, background is bigger, of course you want wider brush. Here, like when you do the details, then of course you need. Yeah, and what I can do, so I can take, but again, I don't take too much paint. Yeah, I took some. Yeah, and let's say I show you here, for example, we have much more brighter at the start, and then yellow kind of blurs out. And instead of using, like usually we blur out, you know, we have it more liquid, but you can also do it when it's dry. So actually just like here at the start, I see it a bit more yellow. Yeah, but then if my brush is dry and I don't have much paint, I can even like with this dry brush technique, I can like spread it out a bit. Yeah, but if you're spreading out and you see it's still actively yellow and you want it lighter, then all you need to do is just like make it a bit more wet, and then you can also like tap it with napkin, yeah, and or just take it out with the brush, yeah. So you can always you put the paint, but you can also always take it out back, yeah. And again, I'm taking like intense color, so just kind of clean color from tube, and I sit it here at the start where it's like very active. And then if I feel there is little yellow left on my brush, yeah, then I can just spread it out. Yeah, or I can even also like just clean my brush, dry it with the napkin, and then just spread it up, because like this spreading out there, you need very little amount of paint, yeah, and then you can use it just kind of what you have there on the brush, and yeah. Yeah. But for example, these yellowish on the bellies, so there I definitely suggest using much more water, and you can even use just the leftovers on your palette. Yeah, so we've been already mixing some yellow and so on, and you have some yellow there. So because you don't need much, you need it to be like very pale, very transparent. So and even when you take it on the brush and you try like go on the border of the belly, and then with lots of water, I just spread it out. Yeah, but not the whole belly, just from the curve and inside a little bit. Yeah, be careful also with this yellow touching the blue, because then you might get green. So first, either be sure this part of background is dry, then it will be less mixing. Yeah, and then just being careful not. Yeah, but you can also maybe leave the belly white. Yeah, just feel it if you're like unsure about what is it doing this yellowy belly part. Feel free also to kind of let it a bit. Yeah. So it's again why I'm doing this bit yellowish on the belly. I'm just trying to show it's a bit more shape, curvy, and but you see it's very, very pale. And now, of course, it looks like almost nothing is there. But once I put black, once I color black the penguins, then then you will be able to see it better. But this is very, very subtle. Yeah, this. Nice. And grayish, how we do grayish? Then it's again. So either you take more white and tiny bit of black, the same like we did with pink, tiny bit of red, you get pink, tiny bit of black. Or you can also use water. Yeah. So again, I'm like, I have my pile of white paint, tiny bit of black. I'm mixing. Wow, black is even crazier than other colors. Yeah, it very quickly turns into like, yeah. And then again, I can mix it with more water, because what water makes, it makes just less paint. Yeah, it's more diluted. And then again, I can, yeah, and try to get your gray as lighter as you can to start with, because then it's always easy to go with darker gray on top. Yeah, and like to stay sure, like you can first maybe just put the gray on the darkest areas of your penguins. Yeah, just to stay kind of sure. And if you feel, oh, that's still too dark, just add a bit more water and again blur out a bit. Yeah. And the penguin, the little penguins, I'm actually like here doing a bit more tapping with the brush. Yeah, and then like this, I'm gonna try to show it a bit closer. And then I don't get it like just as smooth painted as the sky. But here, let's say I'm doing a bit more like just like tapping. And then it feels like a little bit as a fur, you know, because little penguins, they are, yeah, so I'm kind of tapping. And then I get those marks. And I did first like a bit more darker around the wings, around the hands. And then those I can do a little bit lighter. And what's also about this tapping, when you do the tapping, then of course you have some white areas in between. And the secret is also like, you just keep them, but then once it's dry, then you can fill them up with a bit more liquidish gray. And then it doesn't feel that, oh, something strange, some emptinesses in between, but then you keep these differentiated grays, you know, dark and lighter. And here I do a bit more darker under the wings. Okay, this was a bit too dark, almost black. Yeah. But also just to, yeah, first it's always darker under the arms because it's shadow. And yeah, and of course the sweetest part will be already doing all these black lines, because then our painting will like gather all together. But it's important to have patience and do first all these pale parts. Yeah, because yeah, and with pale parts, then you are always sure you can kind of go more on top. Yeah, even if they're not, then. Yeah, so I'll wait. Yeah, then you take time to finish also your grayish parts, the grayish penguins. You see, I haven't done yet the heads of baby penguins because then it's just do it all with black once we go to black. And yeah, and then doing like black parts of penguins. It's probably just like, of course, choosing the size of your brush. Yeah, so you feel comfortable because somewhere you need to get into like more like little lines. So you can also actually like work with two brushes. Yeah, one can be smaller ones, just like where the nose or some of these corners of triangles are. And then for the rest, just to have it more comfortable, you take a bit bigger brush. And basically the top is just kind of plain lines. But here, just at the bottom, already next to the baby penguins, here we can have like a little bit like lines as if it's a fur. Yeah, we see here a bit. Yeah, so it's also a bit more interesting than it's not that boring. Yeah, so I'm gonna show it now here where I'm in it. Yeah, so like, and here you can do just like, yeah. So here, somewhere here will be a bit like, as if it's yeah, but the rest pretty much. What you say, girls? Can I start with black, or you still wanna do the gray?
I'm baby.
Okay, you're still doing the baby penguins. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. No worries. I'll wait. Yeah. So here I just showed where, like, just in case if someone wanna color already the bigger penguins, this is the part I have with a bit like, so not line is not straight, but
Okay, I'm ready.
cool. Very nice.
I'm ready. I was just doing my last thing.
Nice, nice, Ellie. Mhm. Yeah, but doing black part is already, I think, one of the easiest. It's just pretty much yeah, putting the paint. Ooh. Yeah, and then you'll be putting black and it'll be like, wow. already like very, yeah. So another like secret when you need to do the like the line, like let's say here when I do the border of the penguins, the way you hold the brush is like parallel to the line. So I don't do like this, yeah, to do the border, because then it's gonna be not gonna be even. But I just go and like go with the line, and then it's easy for me to get the straight line, especially like here at the. And with black already, of course, don't take too much water. I mean, of course, you need some water to have your brush painting, but not too much, because already like what we need, it's basically we need to cover. But in case if it's too much water, then again, you remember the secret. First, you make it like let it dry. Yeah, so just give it time. Just and while you know it's drying, just go and paint somewhere else. And then you come back, it's dry, you can do the second layer. And yeah, and here I'm changing already with like 2 different brushes. So when I'm reaching some areas where it's where I need to get in. And if somewhere, let's say you got, yeah, maybe a bit more grayish, that's actually is also okay. Like, yeah, maybe not all too dark, like too evenly black. You can have also. Yeah. So well, here, where is the connection with black and so this yellow part? You remember the dry brush technique. I have my brush dry with some paint on it. And then it's easier for me to do those like hairy style touch-ups, yeah? Like then it's because my brush is like painting, not painting, and it's leaving the yeah, and of course be careful not to like leave the belly white. Yeah, follow like because black is like it's already hard to clean up. And just be sure you don't mix like where the belly is, where your arm is. Yeah, and remember, like going where you need a straight line. Yeah, it's easy when your brush is like parallel. But sometimes it's like you can also do like the point, you know, when you need to reach some little area and your brush is too big. Then of course you can also do the yeah, but here I'm holding like parallel 2 brushes and going to the little areas just quickly with a little brush. And the bottom, yes, of course, when we do the head, there is pretty much all clear. And the bottom, yeah, because we have like kind of blurred and where the legs are, yeah. And this is actually how we do. That's why we do later the black, dark blue shadow. So then it's, yeah, because in art, you don't need to tell everything. Yeah, it's not a photo, like you need to show everything the way it is. So leaving some things like untold is even better. Yeah, so let's say this like part. And because the viewer, they will understand, they will kind of first see it. Yeah, and it works especially good with things if you like painting something, but some part of your painting you're not sure how to do it, like you're not sure how to do the hand or something not working. The best way is always just like leave it unpainted, like a bit more just in a sketchy way, and it will always look much better and even much professional, because actually painting in sketchy way is more complicated. And yeah, so now just taking time with patience, with no rush, we do the black part of pigments. Yeah, and that's why it's also like important. So we did like grayish penguins, and meanwhile our background was drying. So now when you go and put black where the blue is, then of course it's not moving, yeah? But if it would be watery, if it would be still wet, then the big chance that your black can move. And then of course it's then it's all more dirty, and yeah, so it's important to plan. I mean, it doesn't like planning, but still you need to consider. So okay, I'm drawing this, and then I'm waiting till the rest is dry, because I'm gonna need it later. And you see, like I'm using bigger brush, and first I go like the places I can get. And if there is a place I can get into with bigger brush, then I just leave it, and later I take small one and fill them up. And of course, when we put black, then our painting is like, wow. Yeah, then it, all our everything what we will be putting prior now like comes together. And it's always in painting, we always have this part that painting still looks like strange, yeah, so it's still in the process. And then there is always something we put in, and it's more. Yeah, and so again, where the back is, and I want the long straight line, then I just go with the parallel. So my brush is, and I'm moving it. Yeah, and then again, if somewhere you have a bit more grayish, I don't know, just because you took a bit more water, maybe it's also good, yeah? Don't fight now to have it all perfectly black. Maybe even those grayish parts will look nice, yeah? So then it's not all too... Later, if somebody say, oh no, there is missing, you can always add second layer of black and then it will look, yeah, the dark if you need it. But sometimes grayish areas can look also nice. Yeah? Almost forgot the heads of the little penguins. I'm gonna do them now. And then I'm gonna wait for everyone to finish and then we do together the bluish shadow underneath. Yeah. For the bluish shadow underneath, it's not to have like, not to have too liquidy, but more dry brush. And it's also a bit more like tapping and blending out. Yeah. If you feel you struggle with some parts, I mean, girls, you can always, just take the black ink pen and you can also use it, if to fill up some maybe like some delicate, some small parts. Because brush, of course, can be very, very tricky and then, yeah, also like putting the eye of little penguins. Like there is no rule that you need always use just one medium. Yeah, why not? You can mix paint and then you put something with that. Yeah. So take your time, girls, to finish the black parts. Yeah, no rush. Of course, it needs time because it's also you need to be like careful.
I'm finished.
No way, really? Wow. I'm surprised that's so quick. Good job. Yeah, let's wait for the rest. And then you can see, for example, you can also compare this my painting previously and the drawing now. Like here it actually looks also nice, like cleaner. Yeah, maybe like this dark blue shadow is not that. Yeah, you can decide. So for example, you can do it when you feel like your penguins maybe like too in the air or like too feeling separated from the background. Yeah, so but for example, now this mine, I like it. So I will probably not do this dark blue like this painting. Yeah, and maybe I add just a little bit, like something like lighter, like because it's shadow. Yeah, and we need to put just a little bit. Here I do at the bottom of little penguins, at the bottom of here, and I'll show you closer. Yeah, so I just took like, yeah, and oh, sorry, here it's a little bit here, and then I put a bit there, and then I just blend it out as well. Yeah, blending. When I say blending out, it means I take a bit more water. So first I put the color, and then I put and then just with a watery brush. So then there is no line, but it's more like smoothing. Yeah, with water I bring it to nowhere. Right. But still a little bit of dark blue at the bottom, I think is nice. Just maybe like depending. Here it's a bit too much. Here maybe I'll try to make it a bit less. Yeah, but still generally doing this cast shadow is always important. Because there is always shadow, yeah, and then it feels nicer. Yeah. What else? Maybe like you can depend. Like here I feel my bellies are like too invisible with the yeah, so maybe here I can do a bit more darker blue, but not all along the whole belly, just maybe like the parts. Yeah, here at the bottom where are the heads of baby penguins. Yes, now for example, I did it and then you can compare. Maybe you want also more blue at the bottom, or you want just like a little touch up. So
You did the shadows already?
Oh, the
I
girls,
know.
you want to show it?
1 sec. I need to figure. Okay, here we go. Why did I sign that thing? Because I do. Okay. I took extra long, and the taller penguin's belly is much like thicker because I needed to use a layer of white paint since I accidentally did black on the wrong side.
Hey, such a cool penguin painting. And is it the heart there in the sky?
Yeah, I got that from her idea.
That's an awesome idea. I just love it. Wow. It can be like a cloud, yeah, in the shape of heart, like this amazing. Wow, this is artwork for the wall for sure. Oh, very nice job. Yay, and the other one penguins also. And the baby. Okay, yeah, here we can see with the shadow and without the shadow, yeah? And it's yay, good job, girls. Amazing. Yeah, also let it dry. Yeah. Then we are waiting for Pio and Yo-Yo to show
Finished
their...
already.
Okay. Yay, Juliet, let's take a look. Yay, nice. Definitely love your
But
sky.
you're sleeping. You're sleeping.
Okay, that's good. That's fine. Yeah, so amazing artworks, girls, today. I think your penguins definitely can find some spot on the wall. Yeah, yeah, good job. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Ellie's idea with the heart. I think it's really, if she doesn't mind and the rest someone wants to use it, this idea. Yeah, so girls, then I see you next week.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you everyone for joining. See you next week.